Hello people of YouTube, my name is Ari, and I am doing another Java tutorial here in Eclipse. Today I'm going to, at least it might be a few videos, but I'm going to show you how to make a calculator, like full GUI calculator in Java, and it's going to be something like this one built into Windows. It's not going to be advanced, this is just going to be a very basic calculator, so just get rid of the memory, because I don't know about you guys, but I don't do a lot of complicated calculations, so this is just going to be a very simple calculator. So first, just make file, new, Java project. Let's name mine calculator. Yeah, I already made one. YouTube. Okay, and I'm going to be doing this in two files, main and my one file. It's going to be a very long file, but I feel that for me it's at least easier to just have the both action handlers in one class. I'll show you what I mean later, but first let's make a class, call it main, and it's okay. So first we want to import JavaX. Actually, we don't need that because everything's going to be in the other class. So let's just make a main method, public static void main string args, and then yeah, that's all we need for this class, because this is just going to be calling the constructor from the other class, which we're going to make now. Let's just call it GUI. That's what I usually call it. And okay, now we need to import stuff. Import javax.swing.everything, because I'm a lazy person. Import java.awt.everything, because I'm a lazy person. And awt.event. And it's being slow. Okay. This is the one thing I hate about Eclipse, like when it corrects things and you don't want it to. There we go. Oh my god. Okay. Java.awt.event, so that's for the action listener. And now we have public class GUI extends JFrame. So you should probably know how to make a basic JFrame in this, but I'll explain stuff anyway. So this is inheriting. You know what inheritance is, hopefully. JavaX.swing includes JFrame, JButton, all that stuff, that all the components in a window like this. Like this entire thing, if the Eclipse window was a JFrame, this would be the frame itself. And then like if there's a button down here, like that's a JButton. And extends JFrame, you should know what inheritance is. That just means that you have all the stuff from JFrame to use. And AWT includes the layout, so like when you can place stuff inside of your window, like you can format the layout, like where everything is. And then java.awt.event, that's so when you can have something happen whenever you click the button. Okay, so let's declare all of our stuff. So first we want a Jtextfield, which is just a text field, and let's call it answer field. This is where, answer field. This is where the numbers are going to be shown to the user. This is the thing at the top. I'll show you this again. Like that is this space right here. Answer field. Okay, now we create a bunch of JButtons. One. Yeah, we have to create one for every single number. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. Add sub, which is going to be subtraction. Multiply div, which is going to be divide, and equals. Okay. And I probably forgot something. I'll go back to it later. So this calculator just calculates two numbers together. You can't do any more because it's just simple. So So you're going to make two string variables, no, actually three string variables, stemp1. So what this means is string for s, temp for temporary variable 1, stemp2. I'll explain after I'm done typing it. Answer. No, sorry, s answer. So what these are, what syntax there? I don't know why this is an error. I'll be right back. I'll figure it out. Okay, I'm back. I'm not too sure what happened. I just rewrote it and it's working now. Okay. Anyway, so here we have private string stemp1 and stemp2. So what this means is, well, how we're going to build this calculator is we're going to have the two numbers that are going to be added, subtracted, multiplied, or divided, and we're going to have them, whenever they click a button, it adds that number to a string, and then later they're going to convert string to the number and then do the calculation. So this is a temporary string variable for the first number and a temporary string variable for the second number. And for this is we're going to be using that later. That is a string answer. So you're going to sum. So that's what you're going to set the answer field to later on. And you need doubles. So you need answer. So that's going to be the double for the answer, and then that's all we need for now. And then I think you need to give that a value. Okay. So now we can make our constructor. No, actually, public GUI. Okay. Title. Let's call it calculator. So super, if you don't know, super just basically means the title of the window, and the parameter is the title. So this would be the super right here. And now we can go back into our main class. I usually do this in here. So GUI. So this is just a basic object for GUI. So that's calling the constructor, and then we're going to set the size in here and stuff. So for the calculators, I usually do this size, 250 by 400. And just so you can get an idea of what it looks like in a second, actually. So first we want to set default close operation. And I usually do dispose on close, if my keyboard will stop being annoying. Yeah, I think you do, actually. Yep. Didn't remember if you needed it or not, but import swing in here. Okay, and we want to set visible. And finally, because it's a calculator and it doesn't look good, if it's otherwise set resizable, you do not want them to be able to resize the calculator, because in my opinion, I think it looks better that way. So just so you can get an idea of what this is going to look like. So yeah, this is our calculator window. We're going to have the answer field, and I just closed it, answer field, and everything right here. And it's going to, yeah, going to be great. So we have the super in there, and now we can now we're going to actually, I forgot something. Up here, you need one more variable. I don't know, if you watch my border layout tutorial, you need content panel. That is how we're going to be doing this. Okay, and now we can start making the content panel. Equals, come on, keyboard. New JPanel. Now we can set the background. Content panel dot. And you can just do any color you want. I just usually do color dot, like, let's just do, let's have fun. Let's do orange. And if you don't know what a JPanel is, then watch my border layout tutorial. it's on this channel. It was the last Java video I posted. And set background just sets background color. It's pretty self-explanatory. And then we're going to be going back to this section later, but this basically, if you don't know, which you should, if it means when you're referring to an object, it refers to this object, the one. So set, I like that, content pane, content panel. So that sets the, yeah, just watch my border layout tutorial and then you'll understand. Okay. So now we're going to declare all these variables. First, start with answer field. Answer field equals new Jtextfield. And what we're going to do is have it null. So that means there's going to be no text in it to start. And that's 20, which is the length of it. And then after the set background, this has to be last. So now we can say content panel dot add answer field, and then we're gonna do this border layout dot type dot north, which means it's gonna be at the top, which is what we want. So now if we run this again just to test it out, now you can see it's orange background and you have answer field. And you may have noticed something, and we're going to change that. Answer field dot set editable. You want that to be false so they don't just change it up. So yeah, now you can't edit it. That's where the answer is going to be. I put it at 20 length because it takes up most of the top, and yeah, you can change that to whatever you want. Next, we're going to work with all of our J buttons, and this I do the bad practice of copy and paste because I could type it out, but that would take a really long time, and I'm going to be doing that a lot in this tutorial, so hopefully you don't mind, and if you do, get over it. But first, before we add that, do this. If you've ever, what the hell? Anyway, if you've ever made a J panel before, you probably know how to do this. Set layout. New flow layout. That's just so everything's just add from the top, and we'll be formatting later. So now we're going to do 1 equals new J button, and then the text on it is going to be 1. And let's copy and paste for every single one of these because it's going to be really long. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I lost my count. 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. Add, subtract, multiply, divide, equals. Those are all of our buttons. And let's change this to. Change the names first and then change the names after. I know, yeah, this is bad practice. You should probably just write it out, but I'm too lazy. 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. Add, sub, multiply, divide, and I did not call it divide, I called it div, and equals. Now we can change these. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. And then add is going to be add. Subtract is going to be that. And for multiply, I tried X before, but that doesn't look good, so just do the star, which is the multiplication sign in actual programming. And for divide, you could do this. Push the Alt key, and then on the side number pad, push 0, 2, 4, 7. And that makes a division sign. But that does not show up when you compile and run later on. It does not actually show up on the actual button, so just do the /, because that actually works. And for equal sign, put equals. So now we're going to add all these to our window and see what that looks like. So let's separate this onto a separate line. and what I do, I copy and paste again, but I do this on 3 lines or something because it saves space. I always do 4 on a line like that. 5, 6, what the hell? 7, 8, 9, 0. Add. What the hell is wrong with you? Okay, I lost my count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. Add, subtract, multiply, divide, and equals. This is all we're doing for now. So just change these to all the buttons, and you'll see how that looks. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, and we're adding them in specific order. So we want our numbers first. We want the answer field first. That's what flow layout does. We want our answer field to be first, and then we're adding them in these orders. So the numbers 1 through 9, and then 0. Then the addition, subtract, multiply, and divide, and then we want our equal sign to be last. Add sub. I really wish there was a shorter version for multiply, but there's not, and that I know of that I would be able to understand and remember. And then equals. So this is what it looks like right now. See, it's all just clunks at the top, and there's a lot of extra space, and it doesn't really look good. So what I usually like to do is have everything like have 3 on the on each row. So that is what we're going to do next. Right here, before we make sure your content panel is always last in the constructor. So before that we want to do this dimension, and that's just called dim for dimension, equals new dimension, and then let you make it 75 by 25. You'll see what this does in a minute. So 1 dot, this is how you change the size of the button, set preferred size, and then dim. So if you just test it for 1, that now it's going to be that size, and then you can fit 3 in a row. And then again, sorry, but who has time for typing? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. Plus, subtract, multiply, divide, and equals. And then you'll see how this looks. It may not look how you think it's going to quite yet. What did I do wrong? Four, 5, 6. Zero. Sorry, once I type this, I'll continue talking. And then equals. See, we're gonna have to do this a few more times with all the buttons. So now let's see what it looks, and see, now there are 3 on every row. But I still don't like this, because I think that the operations and the equals and all the numbers should be separate, but it just keeps going. 0 plus, like, they're all on the same line. So what I do is I have 0 have its own line. So you'll see what I mean in a second. So declare that right here, new dimension for 0, and then 75 times 3 is 225, then 25. So now 0 takes up its own line. And see, now I think this looks much better, and we're going to do this one more time with add and subtract, except we're going to have them be 2 on a line. So it's 113.25, which is around half of 225. And then copy and paste this. And then, so now we have this. And then copy 0's dimension for equals, so equals takes up the whole row as well. So now this is how our button layout looks. I think this looks much better. You can change them to whatever you want. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 0. And then that is the end of all the numbers. Then plus, subtract, multiply, divide, and then equals is at the bottom. And I could probably make this window smaller, but I still like this size. So, yeah, I could probably make this like 50, 75. I'm not sure how that's going to look. Yeah, I like it better the other way. Okay, so now that is done with all of our button sizes. Just look at one more time. That's how it looks. And now we get into the stuff that the action listeners. So you do that right here. We're going to have two action listener classes. One is going to be called numbers, and then let's call the n. Let's just call that the object equals new numbers. And then one is going to be called calc, which is short for calculate. And I'll tell you what I'm doing with this. I'll call that C equals new. Okay, I like to have two action listener classes, which are two classes. And yes, you can have a class inside of a class if you didn't know that they're going to be right here below this. But first, let me tell you what I mean. I have one class for all the numbers buttons, like 1 through 0. That doesn't sound right. 1, 2, all the buttons with numbers on them. I have them in one class, and then the calculations, which include the operation and the equal sign. I have that in separate class, so I can organize that better. And now that we're getting to our operation classes, we need to go back up to the top and have a few more variables. Private, and these are going to be Boolean variables, which basically means true or false. And then there are two going to be. So first one is called equals clicked. You'll see what this is going to do later. Set both of these to false. And then the other one is going to be called op chosen equals false. So, but this is going to do. So this means have they clicked equals yet? That's false, of course, at the beginning. And op chosen means have they chosen their operation, and that is as well going to be false. And we have errors because we have not created those classes yet. So let's create those right now. Class, like, make this. You don't need to. Let's just make them private. Private class numbers, and then make sure these both implement action listener. And yeah, that is how you have it be able to listen, action listen for each of the buttons. And then make another one, calc action listener. And this file is going to be getting very long very soon. You can see both of these have an error because, read right here. Type GUI.numbers must implement the inherited abstract method action listener action performed action event. If you don't know what that means, I'll show you. That means it has to have the method. It just has to have a method. It says public void. It has to be called action performed. And then for this parameter, action event. This is what you use. This is the object you use inside of this method. So this method, inside this method, which I'm going to copy and paste into the other class too. Anyway, yeah, what this method does is that inside this method is where we're going to do all the button clicking stuff. So first we're going to have an object to use. So I don't really know how to explain it, but call it the J button src, which means source, equals new J new equals no J button in parentheses source dot no not source event, which is our action event object, dot get source. So this source object is just going to be used to get this to see which button was clicked, basically. And of course we can copy this into our other class because laziness. And there we go. Now we can get into the actual stuff. So minimize the other class for now because we don't need it yet. And so if source dot equals, so basically if source dot equals, and then inside this object, see object, you put one of the buttons, so, and then there. So what this if statement says is if they click 1, basically. And now we're gonna have a bunch of if statements branched off in this one if statement, because we need to test for a few things first. Oops. I just noticed this. I said new numbers when it needs to be new calc. Okay. Anyway. So, if source equals 1, so the first thing you're going to test for is if op chosen equals false. So what this means is if they have not clicked an operation yet. So the reason this is necessary is if they have not chosen an operation yet, whenever they click the number, you want this to add to the first number. But if they already chosen an operation, then you know that you want them to click, then you want to be adding this to the second number. So now we're going to be doing yet another if statement. If stemp1 equals null, which means has no value yet, now we can actually do stuff. So you set stemp1, I'm going to explain this in a second, set that to equal to the string 1. So this may be confusing to you, so I'll explain what I just did. So first, all this is if they click 1, if they click the button that says 1, I can show you. So if they click 1, so whenever they do that, and then so it's like, okay, they click 1, now it goes inside to see what happens. So if they haven't chosen an operation yet, which means if they haven't clicked plus, minus, subtract, or divide yet, then we're going to go in here. So now we know we're working with the first number because they haven't clicked plus, minus, subtract, or divide yet. So we're still working with the first number. So now if it equals null, so what this means is if they haven't done anything to the number yet, we want to set the string to 1. So basically, how this calculator is going to work is, so okay, I click 1. They haven't chosen an operation yet, and I have no value for 1 yet because I just started the program. So the string is going to be equal to 1. But now what we're going to do is have if it equals null, set it to 1. But else, if like they already did this once, so if they already clicked, if it already was null and then they made it 1, else, so then you want stemp1 plus equals 1. And what this does, if you don't know, this is just a short version of stemp1 equals stemp1 plus. What that means is you want to have the same string and then add the character 1 to the end. But plus equals is faster. But I'll just do this. Equals stemp1 plus this. Okay, so now I'll explain what that means. So I have not. Okay, so I just started the program, then I click 1. It's like, okay. So if they haven't chosen the operation yet, so when I first start the program, stemp1, which is this temporary string for the first number, equals nothing yet because they haven't done anything yet. So you want to change that to 1. But here, else, if it doesn't equal 1, so I just clicked it. So now stemp1 equals just a single 1 character. Now you want to add the character 1 to the end. So you're still forming a string. So as I keep clicking 1, stemp1 is being set from 1 to 1 1 to 1 1 1, and it's creating a bigger number. So that's what that does. Hopefully you understand what I just did. So if op chosen equals false, you want to go to this one. Now you create an else for this, and I completely failed typing else. So now what you're going to do is copy this, everything from right there. So, but the only thing you're going to change is change stemp1, stemp2. what this means is, so if they click 1 and if they haven't chosen an operation yet, you're still working with the first number. But else, if you already chose your operation, you want to change to the second number. So you're doing the same, you're testing for the same thing except it's for the second number. And that is just for one button. So yeah, hover over just to make sure you select the entire if statement for source equals 1 and copy that. And now you're going to paste this 9 times. Yes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. Yes, this is, now you have to change all these. I just said twoo. Let's just change the names first, and then we'll change the actual number value next. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's probably much more efficient way to do this, but this is how I always do it. 8, 9. As you can see, we're already in 200s in the lines, and then 0. So now what we're going to do is change all these 2, 2, 2, 2. So it's doing the same exact thing, except it's testing for a different button. 2, 2, 2, 2. But you want to make sure you put the right number for each one and not just put 2. And then for 4 you put 4. Yeah, this can get a bit tedious, but it's okay because in the end it's worth it. 5, 5, 6, 6, 6, 7, 7, 7, and 7, 8, 8, 8, 8. I might split this into a few videos if it gets too long. I'm not sure. Make sure you don't forget to switch any of them. 9 and 9, and then finally 0, 0, 0, and 0. Okay, so now we have that for every single one. But we're still not done in this class, because make sure, so if you know how to do this, hover over this, put action performed, stay in that class. So now at the bottom is if op chosen equals false again. So what this is going to do, I'll show you. So this is what I'm doing right here is adding whatever they're typing into the answer field. So if they haven't chosen operation, so you want some answer field dot, whoa, I spelled that wrong. Answer field dot set text, and then you want this to be stemp1. So what this does is whenever, like, constantly it's going to be testing. If they haven't chosen the operation, set it to the first one. Else, if they have chosen the operation, answer field, oh my god, field dot set text stemp2. So now we can run this and see what we have so far. So now if we click 1, nothing happens, but it's okay because I don't know. Sometimes this likes to work, sometimes it doesn't. I'm gonna find out what the error is and be right. Hey people, thanks for watching this video. You can click the video on the screen to go to my last gaming video. And yeah, you can click the video on the screen to go to my last gaming video. And I'm stalling. Hopefully you like this music, by the way. Yeah, leave a like if you like the music and stuff. Or you could like it anyway, I mean seriously. And you can click the video on the screen now to go to my last coding video. Yeah. So, yeah, go to the last videos, subscribe. Thank you